Well, it's happy hour with Henry and Cruz. Talking work, playing games, and having special guests too. So go offline and grab a drink. Nobody cares what your bosses think, 'cause it's happy hour with Henry and Cruz. Yeah, it's happy hour with Henry and Cruz. Happy hour!
Hello, I'm Henry.
And I'm Cruz.
And this is Happy Hour with Henry and Cruz. Join us where not safe for work conversations are encouraged. We can trash talk our former bosses, and we just have a good time. So let's get into it.
Cool, yeah. We're very excited today to have Wade on the show with us today.
That's me.
Actor, comedian, influencer who makes parodies about office life with collectively 2.4 million followers on TikTok and Instagram. Welcome, bro.
Glad to be here. Appreciate the invite, guys.
Thank you so much for coming. Yeah.
This is awesome. Yeah, first in-person guest.
Yes.
Well, I mean, second guest overall. So, but first one in the studio. It's different.
It's a dope
but it's
studio.
cool. Yeah, so
Dope
legit.
studio.
We're faking it till we make it type of thing. So.
Hey, y'all doing good. Y'all doing your thing.
So tell us about yourself. What have you been up to? How's life looking?
Life is good. Life is good. You know, I'm a content creator, so I create content on the daily. That's what I love to do. And
Gary Vee just flew you out too.
Yeah.
Don't shy away now.
My boy Gary Vee. Yeah, I'm cool with Gary Vee's team, and had an opportunity to do like a little panel discussion with Gary's team yesterday. One of the main purposes for me to come out to New York, and you guys were filming in New York, so it made sense to do
Good
the in-person thing. So yeah, definitely good timing.
Yeah. So talk to us about like your content creation journey and all that.
So the journey is pretty simple. I kind of started late 2017, early 2018.
That's early.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
That's early.
It
days.
is. So at the time, I thought I was late.
What's his Vine?
I thought it was right after Vine had got demolished.
Were you on Vine?
No, I was
you
not.
weren't?
But
Okay.
I would see all the other influencers and people on Vine and seeing how viral their content was, and I'm like, I could do that too.
Yeah.
I'm a funny guy.
It's
I
not
could do
that
that
hard.
too.
Yeah. How hard could it be?
You know, I just never had like an outlet for the creativity stuff.
Right.
So fast forward a couple years, I started creating content 2018, and it was garbage. But I kept it going
Yeah.
because
It's always
I
garbage
felt
in
like,
the beginning, though,
yeah, I
right?
mean your first post is never going to be as good as your 50th post.
Yeah.
So, but I knew that eventually I would get the gears going, and it was around 2020 when things started to pop off, like most people.
Yeah,
when
yeah.
So it
TikTok
was like
started to pop
a
off.
good 2-3 years before you really started to see. And so what did you start on? Was it TikTok or
I started on
Instagram?
IG.
Instagram?
Yeah.
Because I feel like most people start, how we started on TikTok, and it was easier to go viral kind of thing. So it was like Instagram
That's
that.
what the 2020 was. So like 2020 is when I took TikTok seriously.
Yeah.
And my content started to gain more traction. I got more of an audience on TikTok, and that transferred over to IG as well. So I kind of say 2020 is I started in 2018, but 2020 is when I really kind of started.
You started, yeah.
What were you doing in 2018? Was it similar content to now, or
it was like whatever I thought I could create at the time.
Yeah.
It wasn't office.
Like still funny though.
It was funny,
like
funny
comedic.
stuff. I did grammar videos. So like if you go back and ask some of my real early followers, I would do like grammar video, like the there versus there versus there.
Oh yeah.
So like I'd say the difference between those, and then I'd come up with like a funny sentence, right? So like the difference between there and there is, Alice went over there to get some cocaine or something like that. So I would
Bloody Alice.
yeah.
What's she
yeah,
like?
We're gonna have to find that.
It would be
and put
over
it
the
in.
top examples, and people would like it. So like that's kind of like what my base was at the time. But I don't like grammar. I'm not an English major. I don't care about that stuff. But that's what people like to see. So I did that. And then again in 2020, I just started to make content that was work related.
Yes.
And that was a lot more relatable to
It
people.
resonated with a lot of people.
with a lot more people. And I was like, I'm gonna just do this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it going. And here I am.
What was your, if you don't mind sharing, like your office job that you worked, or kind of that?
So
career path before?
there were multiple in the time frame I was shooting content, but it was in finance and insurance, so like banking.
Yeah.
When I quit, it was mortgages. I was doing paid off mortgages. So when you pay your mortgage off, I would be the guy that you
We
talk
paid the
to.
money to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
give me the money. I
Yeah.
get everything recorded.
That's how
with
you
the
quit
county.
your job. You took all the money.
Yeah,
Yes.
you ain't hear that here.
Allegedly.
Yeah. So yeah, it was banking, the banking industry. Yeah. I
Okay,
guess.
that's so cool. So this show is obviously called Happy Hour with Henry and Cruz. What would be your go-to drink at your work happy hour, or
The winding down drink.
Yeah,
After work cocktail.
I'm
mojito?
I'm pretty basic, to be honest with you. I typically go with like a Moscow Mule.
Oh,
Okay.
Or
nice.
like
I wouldn't say
Yeah, that's
you
not
say
basic.
That's not basic?
Yeah,
Is that basic?
spicy, yeah.
Well, I mean, like that's like what I guess it's basic to me because like that's what I always normally
you go to, yeah.
or
Yeah,
like
yeah.
That's good.
like rum and coke or old fashioned, something simple,
Yeah.
or whatever bar we're at. If they have like a special drink, I'm like, all right, let me try what y'all got.
Yeah,
But Moscow Mule is typically my go-to.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you, Negroni?
Yeah, I'm a big
You
Negroni
know you
guy.
like Negroni.
Yeah,
I feel like that's like, is that a UK thing?
I just think they're just great. Although I don't like it when they put the big, like square ice cube in that takes up the whole
Yeah.
small glass. You go to like
Yeah.
chug a bit, and you're like,
It's
oh,
like
that's
this-
cold.
it's like
yeah.
this much.
Yeah, facts. What about you?
For 15. Yeah, mine. I mean, so I live in LA, so I love a good margarita.
Maria,
Like,
you can't go wrong.
Because you can switch it up with the flavors. You could do spicy margarita, a little tahini on the rim.
Yes, yeah.
That shit just always hits for me.
Yeah.
It's expensive, but and it has a lot of sugar. Probably not good for you.
I mean, you
can
drink
do a
it, so
skinny
yeah,
marg.
yeah.
though.
Yeah.
A skinny marg.
What's a skinny mall?
It's like no agave, like less
Oh,
sugar. So that's
okay.
why I mean skinny.
Yeah.
It's like-
That's right.
I don't know. I wasn't the person that came up.
I'd be like, who cares? You still drinking?
Yeah,
It don't matter.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so content stuff. I guess what made you want to just hit it off full time? Because we're gonna be talking to a lot of creators, and like they oftentimes make that jump from like whatever job they were doing, and it's a side hustle. We were talking about it a little bit before the show, but like, when did you know you were like ready? Like, I want to pursue this. I want to do this like full time.
Well, so when I was working full time, I would create content as like a side hustle.
Yep.
Right. And I blocked all my coworkers, blocked my bosses, and yada yada yada. And I
so
would,
funny.
I would shoot content. Sometimes I would shoot content at work. You can hear from me.
Yeah.
Which is another reason why they were blocked. But the way that my content was performing online, I knew that eventually they would see it, and I would have to have that conversation with them.
Right.
But again, at the same time, the way that the content was performing, I was working with a lot of brands, and I was making money, and I realized I was making more money,
Yeah.
Than your
doing
current job.
the side hustle than I was with the 9 to 5.
That's crazy.
So I was like, imagine
if I did this,
what I
full-time.
could do full time, and that's when I realized that I could make this a legitimate thing. And I told HR, told my boss,
Deuces.
chuck the
Yeah,
deuces
see ya.
up,
See him.
and never look back.
Did you unblock him after?
Afterwards,
Yeah, after you left.
I thought, I gotta unblock them.
You're like,
Yeah,
it's still blocked.
yeah.
Oh yeah, well some of them
We
are
can come
like
back to that.
some of them are unblocked, but a lot of them they're not really like on social media like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Like they have a TikTok and Instagram, but they don't check it like we do.
Yeah.
They just do it every once.
And
in
they
a blue
probably don't
moon.
even care to. We always think like people are really caring about us. It's like
No, they
they're just
don't.
gonna forget
No,
about
they
you.
don't.
Real self-obsessed.
They just wanted to make sure, like, for the company, and I'm not dumb enough to, even though I did shoot at work, I'm not dumb enough to put like the company logo or make it seem like I'm, even though you can see if you actually work here, you know that I'm working here, but like if you're a random person watching the videos, you have no idea what company I'm at,
Yeah.
what business I'm doing,
Right.
So I kind of kept that vague, but they didn't really care, but they were like, it's kind of like the principle
Right.
of things.
Did you have like a moment where they saw your content while you were working there, and like did you have like a awkward situation like that? Like did they bring it up or
I mean,
something like
it's
that?
always awkward. I mean, yeah, I've met with HR a couple times.
How
And
was
Couple
that?
of times.
The
How was HR?
Yeah.
The HR lady's really nice, but like
Shout
I
out to
said,
the
she
HR
doesn't
lady.
she doesn't really understand the social media things. So the funny thing is, the guy that I portray online, right? This terrible employee is not who I actually was when I was working. I was
You were like a great, good
I was like,
employee.
I clocked in on time.
Yeah.
I'm saying good morning and all that other bullshit. And one of the first times I was brought into HR, they were just concerned that I was unhappy with the job.
Oh no.
I was like, I don't think they cared about the content, but since all of my content is about
portraying
hating
that-
your job,
Yeah.
they were like, oh, do you actually hate it here and you're not telling us because you're such a happy,
Right, because you're
smiling
like,
guy.
they think you're
Yeah.
like Two-Face or something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. If you go through the rest of these videos,
You're
that's
like, it's
just kind
just
of like
fictional.
my,
It's
yeah,
just-
it's my
it's not
persona,
real, right?
It's my
Yeah.
online persona, and well, 27,000 people disagree with you on that because they liked your post, and thank you.
Yeah.
that many people liked it, but
Sorry,
no, they
popular.
were, they were just more so concerned that I didn't like my job,
Yeah.
as opposed to the
So
me
once-
posting content.
Once you told them, you're like, nah, it's
Yeah.
fictional. We're good. And did they like bring it up again after that, or
They were like, we would prefer you to
Stop posting.
not,
Refrain from posting.
portray us in a bad light? Because even though, in the way she said it was, people will know that you're working here, and I'm like, nobody will know because it's just
You're
a
not-
regular.
yeah.
It's a wall. There's nothing else they see, but it's just this wall. You guys would know because you know the wall, but nobody else would know. It was awkward, but it wasn't like a bad like interaction.
Yeah.
And it was shortly after that where I'm like, I'm
tapping out.
already making.
Did you
enough
did you
money,
switch
so
up the content though prior to that? Like prior to leaving, like maybe I'll make it like a little
No.
more positive or
I
something.
waited 3 days and I kept posting. I
Fuck
kept
that.
posting.
Facts.
What I did though is
2 weeks resignation.
I didn't shoot at work on the clock after that.
So did you do it before or after?
I would come in either before and shoot in like an open area or afterwards or like at lunch.
Yeah.
I would shoot
So
something.
you were
they were tracking.
grinding. You were grinding
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
Do you reckon
yeah.
they were monitoring you, like, after?
I knew where the cameras were.
Yeah.
They couldn't find. Yeah, I mean, and again, I wasn't doing anything too over the top.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I would just
Yeah.
be in this.
You're just saying
area
like
and
good
shooting
morning
content.
or
Yeah.
good morning.
Yeah.
And, like,
Yeah.
and like rolling your eyes.
But
Is there anything you posted that you regret posting online? Not just whilst you're at that job, but since the beginning of your content creation journey to date?
regret posting.
He's like, man, where do I start?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta go all the way back
So
to 2017.
I don't regret posting anything, but there is some content that when I look back at it, it's kind of cringy.
Right.
Yeah.
I
You know?
feel like we all have
It's
that.
kinda-
Sometimes.
it's kinda
As
cringy.
creators, you
Yeah,
man, I just
Like,
you
what
know
was
when
I
TikTok
thinking?
pops up like a year ago.
I hate
The
Like,
that.
man,
honest
what was I
days, like,
thinking?
it's like,
what
who
the
is
hell
that
was
guy?
I on?
Yeah.
Like,
Like, who let me post this? Camera angle's wrong. The lighting's not even good.
but that's part of it, though, right?
Yeah, it is.
Like as
It is. That's
creators,
all-
like you
all
learn
stuff
and,
based on
grow
fun.
from that.
Yeah.
You become that
Yeah.
becomes like who you are. Like that
Yeah.
built you to where you are today, and so you know
Facts.
it's like
I think one of
It's
the
funny.
things that I find really interesting around your social presence is that you obviously make this relatable content for so many people, which is great, and that's a nice way to give back to like the work community. But you also do quite a lot for charity, off the back of sort of, you mentioned the brand deals and stuff you get and the money you make. That side of things you give back. So do you want to talk a bit about that, because I think it's too good to not to chat about.
Yeah. I never really had like the monetary aspect to be able to give back before.
Yeah.
So once I made a little bit of money, you know, I was always looking for like a charity that I kind of believed in. I didn't, as bad as it sounds, I didn't want to just donate to any type of charity. I wanted to kind of donate to something that kind of meant something to me.
right.
And it took me a while to figure it out, but the Boys and Girls Club was a big part of my childhood growing up in the
Yeah.
summertime. And as a kid, and then in college, during the summer times, I actually worked there. So to be able to be a student at the Boys and Girls Club and then be an adult working with the other kids was kind of like
Right.
a full circle moment. And I kind of wanted to keep that going. So I ended up donating about $10,000
Yeah.
to the Boys and Girls Club, the local Boys and Girls Club where I'm at. And they used it for their team program to build laptops and help them with their
Was this
education.
in Michigan?
It was Michigan.
Where are you from?
Yeah. So I do like giving back. I do understand there's a right way and a wrong way to do it.
It's like it's a
Cause like sometimes, well, yeah, that. But like sometimes I feel like certain people give back just
The
to
wrong
put it on camera.
Like the giving to the homeless
Just-
person and
just-
take the picture.
yeah, it's like-
yeah, like performative, like
Just to show you're a good person.
Yeah. And I'm at the end of the day, I get it, but at the same time, so I try to still give back without putting so much out. But then on the flip side, if you don't put it out, then people don't see you doing it, and people don't get inspired to do it on their own.
Yeah.
So you kind of between a rock and a hard place. But at the end of the day, as long as whoever you were intended to help gets the benefit, then
and it's like what you believe is right, and no one needs to understand that, but like really you though. Yeah. Like you doing this because you've been through that.
Yeah.
It's between me and God.
It means something to me.
Yeah. I just think it's really admirable that that's something that you enjoy doing, and I think it is sort of inspirational to so many people, and to be able to help like communities of people, I just think is a nice thing to do.
Thank you. I plan on doing more. I just like I said, I gotta figure out the right way to do it, and find another charity, or
That's
just something
else that's meaningful to you,
passionate to me.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So you talked about first, are you with? I'm assuming you're with like an agency or somebody that reps you.
Used to be.
Okay. We could dig into that.
What's
a
the
little
drama?
bit.
It's not a talent agency, but I just signed with a an acting agency.
Okay, that's what I was getting to. Like,
are
you pivoting to more of the acting world, comedian, stand-up type of thing, or are you just focusing on content?
So content is my bread and butter. It's my foundation. So I don't think I'll ever kind of stop doing that.
Yeah.
Especially if I can get to a point where like I'm making money like Mr. Beast is. Maybe not as
Go,
crazy money as his,
that'd
but
be a
like
dream.
if I can just make money, a bunch of money just posting content like that, then I don't have to do anything. Right. But I would like to pivot into TV and film, doing more acting. I would love to do stuff behind the camera also, like creating content,
Writing and stuff,
scripts. Coming up with just creative content, but more for the big screen.
That's awesome.
So I signed with an acting agency to kind of help me with getting auditions and getting my headshot stuff right. And so hopefully,
did you come from like an acting background, major, anything in school, or is this something that's just like evolved
just
to
enjoy?
I mean, I think kind of everybody when they're growing up kind of wants to be an actor at one
like
point
the
in
child
time.
actor, like
Hollywood,
your mom in the grocery store. Sign you up.
But like the more and more my content grew, the more and more I realized that it could actually be a reality, especially seeing other content creaters get on TV and
like
do
leap.
stuff like that, see that jump. So like, oh man, this is a legitimate thing that I could actually do, and I'm gonna do my best to open that door and to stay in there. So we shall see. Only time will tell.
Would you say it's like a little bit more? Obviously, it's a little more difficult because you gotta like, you have a script, you got the cameras involved, being on. I mean, I just recently did a thing. I probably could share it, but I did a thing with TikTok. Like I did a thing with like TikTok Studios, like on set.
Oh, word.
For the new TikTok shop thing. It's like about like violating the policy, and I played like a character who it was cool, and this shit wouldn't have came if I didn't like post videos on TikTok. Like that's
what I'm saying, that like all the opportunities are a little bit more open to you if you have a following, you know, if you go viral,
get yourself out there.
Yeah.
So in terms of making content, you said you wanted to kind of get more into sort of behind the scenes, the scripting, the writing, the ideation side of things. We all have posted like lots of content over the last couple of years. How do you keep coming up with sort of funny, witty, creative new ideas?
It's tough, but I have the Notes app on your iPad and iPhone.
Same. I feel like
how messy is your Notes app?
This ideas, right? Like
Yeah.
Like, so I have ideas right here, weekly posting schedules, like film ideas.
Okay, so you're organized. I'm a mess. I'm the same as you.
Mine is like this.
New note for new ideas.
Oh yeah, so you get it. So yeah, I got like all of these.
Yeah, okay.
So like when something pops in my head,
right, you just have to write it down.
If I'm driving or something.
Yeah.
It always pops up like right when I'm about to go to bed.
Or shower.
Or I'm like, oh wait, that's funny. Someone said that. It's funny. Or you're driving. It's always at the random, so you have to be able to.
I just gotta get it to write down, so
paper.
then I'll think about it later. So then it brings it back.
That's funny. Yeah. I feel like a lot of people do that.
That's that's where the majority of my content, the new content, comes from. Every once in a while, since I do post office stuff, people come with me, and I'm pretty sure they might do that with you guys too.
Yeah.
Like stories that they've had.
Yeah, that's
like,
sometimes
my
I'll
boss
put
did
up
this,
a poll and be like, "What ideas do you have for me?" Or you know what I
You
mean?
can get a
And
bunch.
people
Yeah.
write
You can
stuff.
get
And
a
I'm
bunch,
like,
just
yeah.
the comments
I'm
and
like, no, I
stuff.
already did that. Most
Yeah.
people are like, have you done this? Or they don't know. Most people don't know. You could repost old stuff too.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the strategy.
A lot of new followers haven't seen the old stuff. And I
Exactly.
think
Yeah.
you've made it
Yeah,
once.
I
Someone's
think
good.
especially if it performed well, and it's not like the very next day, then you
Yeah.
know, you just repost
Someone
it. And,
I like heard it. I don't know. I must have read it or heard it on a podcast or something. Like when you make content, it stuck out to me. Because like you're making content like you're making it for the first time someone's seeing it, and that's kind of like the approach I make it. So I'm like, okay, I need to do. It's like almost like doing the same thing, but like what was your best thing, and trying to like recreate that because like someone might see that and then follow you because that's the first time they're ever seen it. So that's kind of like how my mindset has like been.
then you got to keep building on that. And
Yeah.
building on that and building
But at
on
the same
that.
time, you don't want to be like too the same thing.
Yeah,
because then
too
people
much. Yeah, you
get
gotta switch
bored.
it up a little
It's
bit.
like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a constant struggle between both of them.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the content that we all make, to the most part, is sort of relatable work, sort of comedy, and
Comedic, entertaining.
yeah. So you sort of quit your full-time job, you tapped out, great, love that, and maybe one day we can finally quit our jobs.
Oh, I could.
soon
but-
enough.
I
Yeah,
could,
oh,
but I
I'm-
need
I'm
help. I need
just too
healthcare and
scared.
insurance out here.
Yeah,
It's-
I'm too
I need the big
scared.
stuff,
Yeah.
the benefits.
the 401k.
You worked a job many years ago now. What's probably the funniest / most embarrassing thing that's happened to you in your real sort of working life on like a Zoom call, a Teams call, or something?
I might have to think about that. Funny thing is, when I was working, this was kind of pre-Zoom.
Oh, you were in real life
Teams.
meetings.
Yeah, because like it was around 20. I actually was an essential worker, so I didn't have to stay home. I had to work in the office, and everybody else in the department
Jeez.
had to go. So I didn't have to worry about the Zoom stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Funny, embarrassing moment. Outside of meeting with HR
Yeah.
a couple times and people, everybody in the bank realizing
Who
that
you are.
I post content online. And you can kind of tell too, because like they'll look at you a certain way. They'll look at you like, "Hey, how you doing?" And they'll look at you a little bit longer. And I'm like, "Why are you looking at me like that?" Because
They,
they know something about you that they don't think you know that they know.
Yeah.
If that
You're
makes
like,
sense.
but I know by the way
Yeah.
you're looking at me right
Yeah,
now.
it's like I know you know that I make content now.
Do you
Yeah,
get it
just-
when people will ask you, like, I'm sure you've been recognized on the streets and like at events and stuff. People come up to you like, I know you from somewhere. So you know where you
You
know
that
me from.
TikToker?
Like,
every once in a
Tell
while,
me.
especially
You
if I
that
have a
office
suit
guy?
on. If I have a suit on, then it happens a little bit more often.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, I'm shocked today
Yeah,
you're not wearing the
where-
suit.
where's
I was
the-
like,
yeah,
I
where's
was
the
wondering.
jacket?
I was debating on it, but like I'm like, I don't know, man. It
Walk
don't-
in and
it
carry
don't-
That would have
it
been
don't
funny
make
though.
sense.
If you would have shut up in a suit. I would
Yeah.
Don't make- I do got it in my bag,
Yeah,
but I'm like, I
come
don't know,
prepared.
man. But if I have the suit on a lot, I'm not saying it happens often, but every once in a while, you know, say, where do I know you from? You look familiar.
yeah, yeah.
And it's funny thing is, I told somebody, it's like I make content online. It's like, no, that's not it. You don't do that.
Like what kind of
like,
content?
where do you know me from? Like, that's
You're like,
the only thing
okay.
you could know me from.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's every once in a while that happens. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. And what would you say on your career journey, your content career journey, is probably one of your highlights in terms of experiences? Like you've just come back from an event with Gary Vee. That's pretty cool.
There's a couple of them. Being able to get into certain rooms that I wouldn't have been able to get into if I wasn't creating content, you know, and so any type of room like that. So like doing stuff with Paramount and BET
So sick.
is great. And they take care of me. That, you know, I got a chance to go to the BET Awards a couple of times.
That's
All
dope.
the other award shows that they're kind of a part of, you know, I get invited to. Doing the Boys and Girls Club thing was a big meaningful thing to me as
Yeah.
well.
Gary Vee.
Gary V's team, and I got invited to a couple of Disney events. I'm really trying to get into to
Like
Disney
acting?
stuff.
Yeah.
I can see you on like a Disney show. Like,
I mean, I'd take it.
Like-
I'd take it, you know. But like Disney premieres, and events and stuff. That like the Haunted Mansion reboot that they did in New Orleans. I was invited to Guardians of the Galaxy 3 premiere.
That's it.
You know, I got a chance to go to.
Yeah, I went to the one in LA.
You
Like
did an
the
Amazon
Consultant
Prime.
was like Amazon
Amazon
Studios.
Prime.
That was cool.
Yeah,
that
'Cause
was-
I didn't know what to expect because it was my first one. I obviously got a little suit, dressed up a little bit.
Yeah.
And what the second you walk in, it's like photo shoot, red carpet.
Boom,
They're like
boom.
Champagne
Yeah.
Cruise. You have your
Yep.
name written out. I'm like,
Then you
what
get
the
then
hell?
you get the Getty's image and
Yeah.
Once you get the Getty image,
Those
like,
images
you're
are hard, though.
You're official.
Yeah.
Yeah.
those are crucial. And like if you ever wanted to get viral, for those looking, the Getty's images is a big help.
So have you been asked to like do any like acting gigs, or are you reaching out to people? Or?
I've done a couple of commercials. One with the job that I used to have.
Oh, sick.
I did one with BT, but since then, I haven't been able to nail an audition a role yet.
It's coming.
I mean, it's coming. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
coming.
It's
But
bound to
every
happen.
once in a while, I do have a few filmmaker friends that like do their own like personal movies
Yeah.
and stuff. So I kind of do that stuff. And not a slight to them, but as far as like a big not legitimate, but like an actual
Big like studio.
yeah
or
studio
something.
thing.
Yeah.
That has not happened yet, but I know it's in the works because,
You've put in the work.
I put in the work.
Yeah.
I've been into some of these rooms and I don't plan on giving up. So it's only a matter of time.
Yeah. And
Eventually.
what sort of roles are you looking for? Would it be like comedy,
I think
drama?
comedy would be the most natural. And
Yeah.
I don't like saying I'm a comedian
Right.
because then people are like,
They want
tell me a joke.
Make me
and
laugh.
I, I can't make you laugh upon request. I can't
Yeah.
do it. I don't like.
Yeah.
I can never do it. And I like watching stand up and stuff like that. But I've never. I don't want to say I never had an interest in doing it. But I don't really have a passion for doing stand up.
Yeah.
I think if I did it, I could be pretty good at it. But like it's not like something I really wanted to do.
Right.
So I can do comedy. I can be funny. So
Stand-up
comedy would be
comedy
most,
is like different.
It's a whole different
that's
ball
hard
game.
work.
Whole different ball game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
Respect
being
to
like
those guys.
content creator funny. There's like content creator
It's
funny,
different.
and then there's
Yeah.
stand-up.
Because like we can stop and
yeah, you can
re-edit
make
the
it. You
video
can
and
tweak it, make
yeah,
it look
and
funny to
Yeah.
someone.
But being
But they-
on
sound
stage,
funny.
They do it like right then and
That's
there
tough.
in person.
Yeah.
And you gotta have like thick skin because you like tell a joke and no one laughs. It's like,
yeah.
that shit's
'Cause
embarrassing.
do you know Trevor Wallace?
Yeah.
He's a funny guy. I think he started out as a content creator and now he does a lot of stand up.
I want to work with Trevor.
He's so funny.
Yeah, I wanna work with Trevor.
I love his podcast. Shout out to Trevor if you want to come on.
Yeah, I'm
we're
on now,
open.
bro.
Who's your favorite comedian? Speaking of comedians,
Content creators or just like
just
all,
straight
all
up like stand up.
comedian? All time is between Bernie Mac and Cat Williams.
Nice. Yeah, yeah.
But I like everybody as long as you make me laugh. I don't really have like a
Yeah.
preference. I'll watch anybody.
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart, I do like. I'm more into his older stuff, his
Right.
older content than the newer stuff. But at the same time, I like Kevin Hart's energy that he brings to a lot of
Yeah.
Yeah,
stuff.
I think
right?
like his like mannerisms, like
Yeah,
the stuff
yeah.
he does,
Funny.
the says and sounds and stuff are so like funny.
Yeah.
I'm
he
more
was-
interested
Where
in
Cat
his-
Williams is like
Yeah.
really funny.
Just
Just
Cat,
like his
yeah,
jokes.
Cat is blunt.
Yeah.
He will
We
be
could, like-
blunt. He will just tell you
Yeah.
right
Seen
to
the
your
podcast?
face.
I mean, yeah. All those memes that came out.
That's so funny.
Legend.
Should we play a game?
Yeah,
We
I
haven't
have
played a game yet.
Look, happy hour. Speaking of happy hour,
Yeah.
what's like one piece of advice you'd give to someone going to like a work happy hour?
Watch how much you drink,
Fact.
because some of your coworkers you think are your friends are not your friends.
So you gotta watch.
Especially,
You gotta
if-
watch what you say. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Especially if
funny.
like HRs or something like is going to be
In
there,
attendance,
then
yeah.
you know I. If it's one of those types of things, I'm not drinking.
Yeah.
No, you're not about to catch me and do something. Nope.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
already know.
What's the worst thing you've seen at a work happy hour?
It's really not that bad. Just a couple of coworkers that actually get too drunk. where they
Okay.
can't,
I feel
really
like there's
walk and
always that one
function.
coworker that like drinks too much. You're like, damn.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had times where I've been
Yeah.
fucked up. You know, you got like someone's buying drinks for everyone. You just
Yeah.
like
Hey, if
they're
it's
doing
free.
rounds.
If it's free,
yeah,
then
it's
it's
free.
free.
It's
Yeah,
better.
yeah.
It hits different when it's free. But yeah, someone
What's
always
the
gets
worst thing you've seen?
slammed. I mean, I've had like a friend, a buddy, like hook up with like a coworker, like some like she was the kind of like the office. Can I say
Yeah.
slut? I don't know. And she's just doing the rounds,
Wow.
But like we all know, and it's just
Yeah,
like
I'm sure that happens all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, let her live. She's living a life.
And then
Yeah.
like the worst part is like you see them the next day. You know.
yeah,
It's
you're in
like,
the office next day, just everyone's.
Yeah.
Just,
I
You're already
know how
writing
you
the
were.
bit to
I know how
post.
you were acting. You know.
that's why. But I feel like that's why people don't go to like. Some people are like, I'm not drinking with my coworkers because I don't want to put myself in
That's what I'm
that
saying, yeah.
situation. Like I'd
Unless
rather
it's
just
like-
not go.
If like it was just like us and we were coworkers, I'm
It's a
cool with
safe-
that.
yeah,
but like
yeah.
if it was HR, my
Leaders- you
boss,
got
the
leadership
whole
there,
department,
or, like,
yeah, I'm like
Yeah.
nah.
Directors and the whole gang is there. It's like it can get out of
Yeah,
control.
it goes. Although, I was thinking of something from like law firms that I've worked at in like the holiday Christmas parties, and stuff, and some of the stuff that goes on like UK organizations is
Different.
I remember one of my like senior members of my team, I think it was the year before I joined that Christmas party. It's like a older guy, like 60 odd, maybe late 50s, who knows. And he got so drunk he literally pulled out his penis and like just put it on the table. At
Oh,
Christmas
like
party.
that.
Fired?
No.
What kind of party y'all?
Yeah, I was like, I
the hell
think
did
in
you do in
comparison, like
London?
UK, like work Christmas things or just Christmas holiday work happy hours generally are a lot more raucous.
I feel like
I
they
could
get fired in
tell-
the US if they did that.
Yeah,
we wouldn't even got that far.
yeah,
It's like-
yeah. It's,
That's crazy.
it's absolutely chaos. Right, what game do you want to play?
Let's do that like that Smasher Pass or Would You Rather?
Yeah, let's do Would You Rather.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Would you
start.
rather?
yeah.
Let's do it.
Wade, would you rather?
Nope.
Dude, that's funny.
Yeah.
Would you rather? Like, trying to make a work one. Would you rather have unlimited PTO or like just your standard 2 weeks?
I would say unlimited. It wouldn't really matter because if I gotta go, I'm going. I don't care. So-
Prepare the others.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not a request.
I would
It's
I
not
would
a
rather
request.
have unlimited PTO. The problem with that is just every time I take PTO or I feel like someone
feel
takes PTO,
guilty?
you just feel bad.
Right.
Yeah.
So as long as I can take my PTO without feeling guilty, then I'm good.
Well,
But
now
at the
you
end
can
of the
take
day, I
your
don't
PTO
care.
and,
Yeah, you're right.
and no one's gonna say shit.
Ain't nobody gonna say nothing to me.
Have you ever called in sick
Hell yeah.
when you're not actually
hasn't?
sick just to get the day off?
Oh, like
just in
instead
general.
instead of a vacation day,
general?
like use a
Yeah.
sick day.
Yeah.
I haven't, but it was around COVID time. I was debating on it because, like, at the time of COVID,
Yeah.
anytime you cough or say something that you were sick,
They thought it was COVID.
you had to like take it seriously.
Send a test or something. Like your
You had
results
to
or
like,
something?
all right, go home, take a test, and or go to the doctor and get a test. I was debating on it, but again, I wasn't a terrible employee. I was a good, and we were
Right.
kind of short staffed, so I knew if I left, all
gonna
hell
be-
was gonna break loose because
Yeah.
nobody else at the office did my job, and they weren't trained to do my job.
Yeah.
it would be difficult. So I'm like, I'll wait.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The culture in the U.S. is like it's more toxic than you. Like we don't have that many days usually, and
If
so
any.
you guys get way more PTO
Well,
days,
that's
vacation.
what I find so funny. Like, we kind of do similar content, but I'm doing it from a UK perspective. But a lot of my creative friends are US based, so hearing about like unlimited PTO, I'm like, that's amazing. But then it's
You're
not
like, we-
actually unlimited. But then
Yeah,
you have a
it's not
notice
really.
period of like 2 weeks, and I'm shackled to like 3-6
Yeah.
months.
Sometimes
That's
less
crazy.
too. It's not even 2 weeks.
like
It's maybe
on the
11
spot.
days. We get the standalone
Yeah.
holidays, but you get like some companies have 11 days. It's like really,
Yeah, that's
and they
That's
don't even
it?
roll over.
Yeah,
too.
it's like what? That's it.
yeah, or being like fired
you
on
get
the
my birthday
spot
off?
just because you're being laid off. Whereas we have like a
Layoffs.
whole process, like a redundancy thing that you have to go to. That goes on for potentially
Bro,
months.
it's a wild time in
Uh,
corporate America. Right?
Yeah,
it's like
I
I always thought it
times
was
are
like-
changing.
Yeah, I just thought it was like a almost like a bit in itself, like corporate America, and everyone's like over exaggerating. But then speaking with you guys, I'm like, whoa.
I mean, there are some good companies out there that have like all the bells and
Right.
whistles, but the looming majority is like it's not where it needs to be.
Yeah,
And that's why we're here.
And
to-
that's
why we're here
change
to
the
talk about
narrative.
it.
And that's why we're here. That's why we posted.
Yeah,
To bring
yeah.
awareness to the bullshit in
yeah.
corporate America.
Sorry, we're playing Would You Rather, so let me whip one up.
You go whip one up off the spot.
Would you rather be stuck in the lift with your boss or HR?
Elevator.
Elevator,
He
sorry.
said lift.
Lift.
Yeah, I don't
Same
know.
thing.
Oh, I thought you meant like an Uber.
Yeah, lift,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I was like, wait,
Wow.
an Uber?
Yeah.
I was, yeah.
Stuck in the Uber.
Well,
with my boss?
I knew where you're going just because I've been hanging out with you a while, so I told
Yeah.
I'm like, he means elevator.
Elevator.
Yeah, he's my
Okay.
translator.
So elevator, my boss. For what was the other one?
Or HR. You're going to the top floor, so you're in there for a while.
It's a long elevator.
Damn. I'd probably say the elevator with my boss, just
Yeah.
because we interact a
You
little
cool,
bit more.
cool with your boss?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not cool with him, but like since we interact a little bit more, and I'm not around HR a lot,
Yeah.
you know, I if I had to choose, I'd probably choose my boss.
Yeah. You know when you're
the
seeing
one,
HR as
the
a
one
bad.
cool boss.
Yeah,
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 I
yeah.
don't like I don't want to be getting off the elevator with HR.
Yeah. You'll put your foot in it. You'll say something
Yeah,
as a
it was-
joke, and next thing you know, you're walking out the lift for the last time.
Mm-mm.
You've been fired.
Mm-mm.
Do you wanna do
HR
one
is
more?
not for you.
No.
A bunch of
HR
haters.
are not your friends unless it's. Do you know Humorous Resources? Jamie Jackson.
The
meme- the
account.
meme
The meme
page.
page. Yeah, we
they-
love her. She's HR.
Mhm.
Shout out to Jamie Jackson.
Don't they have that?
HR
They're on
bestie.
podcast, right?
Yeah, HR besties.
Yeah,
It's doing
yeah.
really well.
Popping. Yeah. We saw it. We're like, we want to do that.
Yeah.
Manager method and
Ashley.
Shout out to y'all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
yeah, we
Lee.
gonna have to-
Lee.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to cut that.
Yeah, we know your names.
Yeah.
So what's? Do you want to do one more? Would you
Yeah.
rather? Yeah, we can't just.
Would
do
you
two.
rather would you rather
Should have prepared.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What about you? Would you
Oh,
rather
yeah,
would you
sorry.
rather do like a 4-day work week or have longer work days? Like a shorter work day.
See,
I go back and forth on this one. I feel like honestly, I'd rather have 4 day, like get the extra day off, but grind out an extra hour or two. Because if
Oh,
anything, you know, do you really work 8 hours a day anyways? But like,
no.
do people
so
really
that's
work
what I'm
on
saying.
Fridays
So
anyway?
I'd rather get that day off because you know for sure every week you're gonna have a 3-day weekend.
3 day-
and
yeah,
I
I
think
was
that's
like-
the best.
I would be debating on that too. It would depend on what job I have,
Right.
and yeah, I mean, there's a lot of factors, but I'll probably do what you do.
4-day
don't-
work week.
like,
I
I
mean,
would-
I
I
feel
would
like
work
it's
the-
bound, it's bound. They're already tested in the UK.
What-
Companies already
It's like
Yeah.
12 hours.
rolling
right?
it out
Or
like
10 hours?
crazy.
Well, I
10-hour
like
work
my
week?
lawyer job. I only do Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, so I already only work like a 3-day week professionally, which honestly I bloody love.
Yeah,
Um,
I would too.
It's,
Love
it's
it.
an absolute treat, but I don't work extra hours because my contract isn't like full-time working hours in 3 days, so it's effectively 9 to 5.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
But
I work in like the advertising, so it's like all based on like
You're on.
like clients and stuff, and you have like a certain like hours you need to meet, and they get billed on. So it's really hard to like. Someone explained it to me. It's like really hard to basically work less hours to meet the same level of work or something. So it's like a constant battle with people to take basically
Yeah.
saying we're gonna work 8 hours less. Unless
Yeah.
they were to keep that same
So it
hour
depends on- depends
threshold
on the job,
on a
too,
less
yeah.
day, but then that would require people to work longer hours, and
Yeah.
so that's tough. It's a tough
And
decision to make.
And it depends on like if you're like a salaried employee.
Right.
Like if I'm a
That's-
salary employee, I'm not even working the full 10 hours. I'm gonna get paid anyway.
You're getting paid anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know.
Would you rather date one of your coworkers or date your boss's daughter?
What if your boss's daughter is a coworker?
She's not.
Eventually, they normally are. I'd probably, in that case, I'd rather date a coworker, because if there's any issues between the boss
You getting fired?
and any issues between the boss's daughter and me, right? Like
You're
if
out the
things
door.
get rocky, then I'm already looked at like, oh, he's a terrible guy and
Facts.
yada yada yada. And yeah, I definitely choose coworker over boss's daughter. Yeah.
Yeah. Although conversely, if it goes really, really well, you could
It
get a
does.
promotion
It does.
faster.
If it goes really well,
Yeah.
then
You're going
yeah,
to
I
the
ain't thinking
top.
about that.
What about you?
Yeah, I probably have to go coworker.
Yeah, I think I would do the
Just
same.
don't tell anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep
Yeah,
it
hush,
keep it
hush.
under wraps.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in that scenario,
Yeah.
coworker.
That's the
for sure.
obvious one. Would you rather get a promotion, a bonus, or a pay raise?
Ooh.
Is the amount the same over? So a bonus.
We
would
can
say
just,
like,
in theory, keep it the same.
Keep it the same.
Yeah.
oh, hit me with the lump sum in one hit.
Yeah,
lump sum.
I'd rather take the lump sum, the bonus, because I feel like with the pay raise,
You don't see
you're
it
still
like,
getting. I mean, you're still gonna get taxed over it,
You
and,
lose
you,
your
and you
tax.
might not see it. I mean, even the bonus sometimes you get taxed, but I'd rather have the lump sum than like the smaller increments over time, because the pay raise is normally it's not like that big of an
It's
amount.
not that deep, yeah.
Especially when you spread it out. I could probably do more with that lump sum at that one time than the spread out payments.
Yeah, you can quit your job, take the money, and run.
I could.
See ya.
True.
Deuces.
Would you, so back to creator, would you rather have a long-term partnership, like X amount of videos for money, or would you have like rather have one video that pays a lot?
It would be dependent on the brand.
Okay.
So like if it was like Nike or Netflix or something,
Yeah,
you know,
yes, I do like what they
I'd
say.
take
Like
the
a
long
cool-
term
yeah.
because you know I would be more recognized and well known for that. I would do long term. I'd rather have long because it's a security thing.
Security, build out like relationships.
It's a security thing. And that one video, the one and done, even if it paid a whole bunch of money, it's one and done. You know, then I got to figure out what I'm gonna do next.
Right.
I'm pretty responsible with the money, but you know,
Sometimes you
if
treat
I,
yourself.
you know,
Yeah.
sometimes you might blow it and treat yourself, and then you're like, what do I do now? Now I got to find another video. So I'd rather do the long term deal.
Long-term deal.
Yeah.
I'd
I
agree.
think I'm on the same boat. Yeah.
Yeah, and I would also say if you're trying to be like good with money, don't hang out with this guy.
No.
This guy will make you spend.
Well, that is good to know.
Well,
yeah,
Good to know.
stay
Let me-
away.
I like-
let me
to
write this
splurge a
down.
little bit.
yeah.
Stay away.
Pull up the notes app.
Yeah, put it in the notes app.
Hey, I like to,
Glad I
you know,
missed-
spoil myself.
Yeah.
It's always
We
good
let
to
you know.
treat yourself.
In terms of brand partnerships, what's been one of your most favorite brands that you've worked with? Like in any capacity, it could be long term, like a one-off, whatever. You just really enjoyed the brand.
There's a few. I did a deal with Dunkin' before.
Yo.
Oh, that's sick.
Dunkin' was cool, and they reached out to me off of a video that I posted.
I saw Rod. Rod does a lot
Rod
of
was
stuff
it?
with them.
With
He did
Dunkin'?
one
The other day,
recently.
yeah.
Dunkin'. Yeah, I like Dunkin'. I'm more of a Dunkin' than Starbucks guy. So
Shout out
Really?
to Duncan.
shout out to Dunkin'. You got the product placement right here.
What about all
Come
those
sponsor us?
All those iced coffee spinning.
That's how I got.
You did it at Dunkin'?
I did. So like when I did that video, I was originally thinking about going to Starbucks, but there was no Starbucks where I was at. The location I was at, it was like
You
10
must have been
minutes
the East
away.
Coast then.
I was in Michigan.
Okay.
But like there was a Dunkin' down the street. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna just go to Dunkin', and it just happened because they were the closer location. So I did the video, and that actually
That
was
thing
my
went
very
viral, right?
that was my
Yeah.
very first viral video. Was
Yo,
the iced coffee
How many
one.
views do you know?
Off the
Million.
top? No, it like 10 million or something like
That's
that.
insane.
But Dunkin' reached out to me. Their social media team reached out to me,
Influencer team, yeah.
and I had did a 2 or 3 videos with them just because I had a Dunkin' cup in that video,
That's
and that
crazy.
wasn't even my intention. It was just
Right.
like it was just there. So that was one of them. I did a deal with Dell, which was fun.
Dell, yeah.
I got a free laptop out
I got
of that one.
Yeah, they sent me a
Yeah,
laptop.
yeah,
I
the
got a
little touchscreen
desktop,
one. Yeah.
desktop monitor.
Yeah, I was like, oh, we doing this?
Thank
That's
you.
Nice.
And they got some deep pockets too.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
that.
Dell, I'm always available if y'all want to
Dell,
get
hey, if you want to sponsor the
Straight down camera
podcast,
for-
feel free to come
we
around.
need some new equipment over here.
Yeah.
That's so cool. And as we kind of like bring this to a close, it'd be really interesting to hear from you your advice to anybody. Like you've done so amazingly well in terms of turning your side hustle into your basically your full-time role. What sort of advice would you give somebody who's looking to like do the same?
If you're looking to be a content creator, and you're really passionate about it, I would advise you to really sit down and think if that's what you want to do, because it's not an easy road. You
Yeah.
have to be able to be adaptable because social media changes every day.
It could be gone in like a second.
It
too,
could be
like
gone in a second
platform.
too. TikTok was almost banned.
I think it was
2
banned
years
in
ago.
some
It was
states.
banned in like Colorado or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
Yeah,
something
it was
random.
like, so you never really know, because like the things that we're doing now in 6 months may not be what's beneficial to us. Like 6 months ago, we weren't doing the things that we were doing now. Things, trending things trend, and platforms change things all the time. Like Instagram Reels are a big thing, and then they went to carousel posts, and now it's Reels, and
Right.
But if that's what you really want to do, my advice is to start on TikTok because I think that's the easiest platform to gain a following on.
I think so.
But do not neglect YouTube or
YouTube
Facebook.
Shorts. Don't sleep
You're
on
popping
Facebook
on
Reels.
Facebook.
Don't slip on Facebook.
They shout out Gary Vee too, because I know he's been preaching.
He's
that.
been preaching.
He's
Yeah,
always ahead of the
and he's
curve.
right because Facebook, they also pay, and you may not think that they have like a really deep audience. They have a really deep audience, a little bit older audience, but
Excuse
it's
a
still an
little bit,
audience.
Yeah.
They still
You
got
know?
1 billion people on that day.
And they pay pretty well, but YouTube pays the best. It gives you the more bang for the
Yeah.
buck. So don't put all your eggs in one basket by just posting on one platform. Try to diversify, and try not to worry about how your content performs. Especially if you're just starting out, just post the best content that you can, and then try to figure out how you can post something better the next day, and then how you can take it a step further the next day and the next day, and make as many friends as you can in the industry. You know, you may
Love
think
that.
that people who do the same niche as you is your competition, and in some cases, you know, there's always a little slight competition to, you know,
Yeah.
but
Y'all going after the same thing.
But it's
though.
not
yeah,
unhealthy.
but like their success is not going to hinder your success, and vice versa.
That's a good way to. I love
yeah.
how you put
So
that. That's a good way.
everybody can still win because it's social media. Everybody can follow you
Yeah.
and you, and they can follow me too.
Exactly.
So like we don't need to compete, and just network,
I feel that.
network.
love that.
I
Network.
love that.
Yeah.
The Wade Empire, everyone.
Yeah, facts. Heard it straight
Yeah,
here.
edit that.
Straight from the horse's
Yeah.
mouth.
Well, honestly, thank you so much for one,
Thank you.
coming onto our podcast, and two, literally being here.
Hey,
It's
thank you for
This
so
was
having
weird,
me.
fun. This
like,
was
Thanks
cool.
for the
This
invite,
was
yeah.
awesome.
Seeing you on
Very
like,
chill. It's
camera
different,
all
yeah,
the time,
seeing
and
you.
I was like, he's actually here. It's always weird.
No suit.
Seeing people that you see online in real life, you're like, oh, I wonder how tall you are. I wonder.
Yeah.
What
He's
you're
a lot-
actually
For some
he's
reason, I
like-
thought you were gonna be like over 6 feet or something.
He's like taller and buffer in person. You know? I didn't know he was this tall and buff. No, I'm 5'6". I'm comfortable with it. It's cool.
Yeah,
It is what it is.
Yeah, we're all under 6 foot here, so it's fine.
I'm like,
Yeah.
with
On
the
a good day.
shoes on, I'm like 6.
On a
I'm
good
pushing
day.
6.
Just about 6.
We're in New York. I should have wore the Timberlands, and you know,
Yeah.
I would have been good.
It's cold.
Should have wear
here.
your suit.
yeah.
You should have had the suit
Yo.
on.
I should. I was debating on it, but like, they don't think I'm a weirdo.
Yeah,
Come here with
it's
a
all
suit
good.
on.
Cool.
Yeah,
We
well,
can wrap
thank
it
you
up.
so much for watching, everybody. Like, follow, and subscribe for more content. And thank you for joining us on Happy Hour with Henry and Cruz. All right.
All right.
Bang.
Cheers.
Yeah, it's happy hour with Henry and Cruz. Happy hour!